What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to TTB Ravens Media, bringing you Ravens content every single day. If you want to see that daily Ravens content, make sure to subscribe button down below. Hit the notification bell as well if you want to get notified every single time I put a brand new video. John Harbaugh today had his press conference, and this was one that I don't know if I would say people were excited for, but people were hopeful for, I think is the better terminology, because a lot of people went into this just praying, just believing, blind faith, maybe, just maybe, Greg Roman will be gone. He's not. Greg Roman is still here. But I think this press conference said a lot of things about John Harbaugh and how I think the rest of the season and maybe the offseason is going to go. Because I think a lot of people came out of this press conference upset, frustrated, angry, because they weren't fired. Harbaugh wasn't fired. Greg Roman wasn't fired. But at the same time, there were certain terms that I think bode well for the future of the Baltimore Ravens. And I'm going to analyze all of them, and I will get to that at the very end. But before I get into that, let me know in the comment section down below your guys' thoughts on that entire press conference, and were you disappointed in it? But, you know, looking over the things that were said, the first thing that I want to talk about is John Harbaugh said this. John Harbaugh said, this is per Sarah Ellison, Harbaugh said the pass game is not where it needs to be. Does he have confidence in his coaches? Quote, absolutely. All of our coaches, including Greg, are fully capable of understanding the pass game and what we've got to do. ... Scheming it up, we can do a lot of things better. This right there, I think this is hilarious. It is hilarious to me that a head coach has to say, our offensive coordinator can understand the passing game. He can understand it. He has to say that. He has to say that. That's pathetic that you have to go out there and say, yeah, he can understand the passing game. Because that's not something that you should ever have to say. Ever. You can say things, yeah, he can understand that. Talking about like niche areas that maybe he's not their strong suit. The passing game is a base level component of being a offensive coordinator. And the fact that John Harbaugh has to go out there and say, yeah, Greg is capable, fully capable of understanding. First off, he's not saying he does understand. He's saying he's capable of understanding. And second off, the fact that he has to say it, I think, is laughable. And it shows how poor of a coach he really is. Because if you have to say, many things in coaching are unspoken. You shouldn't have to say them. That was said. That was said. That is a real quote. And I think that is, it's downright embarrassing for the future of the Baltimore Ravens. Downright embarrassing that their coach has to say that. The other thing that John Harbaugh got to say, and I want to make sure that I get this quote exactly right. I had the other one up. The other thing that John Harbaugh said. This is per Jamison Hensley. I know, Jamison Hensley. Whatever. He's got the quote, okay? John Harbaugh said, quote, we're not getting into that, when asked if he was considering changing roles on the coaching staff. We're together. We're a team. Later says, we have very good people at what they do. This is the quote right here. This is the quote that ends John Harbaugh's career. Because this sounds, obviously it's him saying we're not going to fire him. But you know what it's also saying? I'm staking everything on this. That's what he's saying. We're a team. We're together. I mean, that right there is him saying, no, we're not going to fire him. We are going to ride out with him. And John Harbaugh is staking, I believe, his coaching future on Greg Roman. I truly believe that. I think John Harbaugh's a smart guy. He knows how to, he knows how to be a politician. He knows how to say the right things. But that right there was him saying, we're together. I fully believe in this guy. And when you have somebody that is so hated by the fan base, the majority of the fan base, I'll say, there's still some believers. I think they're wild, but there's still some believers. And he's going out there and he's saying, no, we're a team. We're together. If Greg Roman once again lets down the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs, or even the rest of the remainder of the regular season, whatever it is, John Harbaugh could be fired because of it. Even if Greg Roman isn't extended, John Harbaugh could be let go. Because this was a complaint for, 3 seasons now of Greg Roman being incompetent when it comes to the passing game. And John Harbaugh has defended him every step of the way. And he's fired other coaches. He's fired defensive coordinators. He let go of Wink Martindale, who, guess what? Having some decent success with the Giants. This is Harbaugh saying, no, we're going to do this. And if it works, this is John Harbaugh's Tin Cup moment. If you guys haven't seen Tin Cup, go watch it. Really good golf movie. But this is him putting everything on the line. And he's being stubborn. And he is saying, no, this is what we're going to do. And I fully support it. And that, I think, is good news. Because I think if anything is going to get John Harbaugh fired, which I'm a major advocate for, I don't think he's a good head coach in the NFL. I think he could go somewhere else, and they could have success if they have a good roster. But in the long term, he's not a solution for any franchise. Firing him is one of the best things the Ravens can do for the future of this team. And if he stakes everything, like it sounds like he's doing, on Greg Roman, who is maybe the worst person to bet on in the NFL, we could hear it as soon as the Monday after the Ravens lose in the playoffs. And you guys may be saying, wow, you're so pessimistic. What if they actually win? I have zero faith that the Baltimore Ravens can win the Super Bowl with John Harbaugh and Greg Roman. Zero faith. I like the roster. I don't have any problems with it. Is it perfect? No. But could the roster win? I still think this roster could win. But not with John Harbaugh, not with Greg Roman. So, Harbaugh saying these things, it sucks in the short term. Because I think Greg Roman being fired would help the Ravens. Because at least we would get a play caller that knows what he's doing. How to manage a game, maybe. It wouldn't change the playbook drastically or anything like that. But I think this is good news for Ravens fans for the long term. Was this press conference right here. It would have been better if John Harbaugh went out there and said, yeah, Greg Roman's gone. We've parted ways. He didn't say that. This is the next best thing. Staking everything on him. Stating that he fully believes in. He is not backing down from Greg Roman and the slander that's going on with Greg Roman. And I'm here for it. I want you to defend him because that means you'll be gone too. And that means the Ravens can have future success. The Ravens have been in a downhill spiral ever since Ray Lewis retired. And John Harbaugh's been here that entire time and hasn't gotten any flack. He's been on the hot seat before. People have saved his career. Guys like Lamar Jackson. But it's time. It's time for him to leave. He's not adding any value to this team. Greg Roman's not adding any value. Maybe the value that he adds is the problem with Greg Roman's value. It's like, yeah, he gives you, it's like he's one of those guys, he gives you like $5, but then he robs you at the same time. So like your wallet leaves with like $5, but you're missing all your debit cards and your passport and like social security card. And he's like, there you go, I gave you $5. Congrats. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, you gave me something, but like you stole everything else. That's Greg Roman. Let me know what you guys think about this. Am I reading too much into it? But I think that this could mean that we lose John Harbaugh at the end of the year. And I really hope we do. I think he's terrible. And you guys know that. I've been saying that all year. I've been saying Greg Roman's terrible for multiple years. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe for daily Ravens content. And I'll see all of you again tomorrow.